what have you found the most kind of fulfilling musically, the kind of style of writing? Because you've done so many, and we've touched on just a fraction of, different genres and styles. I mean, what you do for, Modern Family is a lot of people might not even notice any music, versus something that you do for something more dramatic can be incredibly lyrical, versus songs. But like, where do you kind of see your career aligning with, what you love the most?
This is a great question. I don't know if I know the answer, but ultimately, I think, the purpose of a song and the purpose of score, like the things that I like about songs and score are when there's a great melody. And I think I can write a melody. So a good melody, it goes a long way. B, it applies to comedy, it applies to drama, it applies to everything in between. So, and a melody doesn't have to be something necessarily hummable, but ultimately, if I had something that I think can hang my hat on, is that I can write a melody, and I have a sort of a general idea of the shape of a melody, and what feels good. And I think that's just sort of something that is innate to some people. There are other people that are more sort of sonically minded, and I love when something sounds really cool. But probably the reason that I get hired on things has to do with emotion. And even in a comedy, the emotion doesn't have to be sad. Like, it's not always sad. Like, I'm good at sad, but like there are other emotions, and writing music is like inherently an emotional experience. So like, I feel things deeply, and can connect. It's usually just sort of about connecting to whatever the material is, and I'm like most people, I feel like in that I can connect to a lot of different things, and I have a lot of different emotions, and so that also makes me feel very lucky that I get to work on these different kinds of projects. Like at the time, one of my favorite things that I had ever worked on was Rectify. Rectify was like this extremely deep spiritual experience, and it was hard, and it was like it took a lot to make it, but that music, I feel like, is some of the best stuff I've ever written. I think because it was on a beautiful project, so there was a lot of
so great.
Blank canvas, beautiful show, and pretty unusual, unlike a lot of things that I had ever seen. And there was a lot of room, just a lot of room to express herself. So that was really nice. And that was an amazing experience. And then there are other times where I feel like getting to, like I just did this movie with Tim Federle, the High School Musical guy. He did this movie called Better Nate Than Ever. And that movie needed, I hesitate to call it old school, but like a sort of like traditional score with some, with modern elements, but like themes for characters, themes for emotional beats. Like these are like sort of things that I think don't go out of style.